Now that we have our tables drawn that shows the total product and then the marginal product, let's see what it looks like on a graph. Because once we put it on the graph, it makes things a lot more visually appealing, and we can see a lot more of these aspects, such as increasing marginal return, decreasing, and then negative marginal return. So the first thing that we do, just like we did on the last video, is we drew our total product model. Again, we have our graph where input is on the horizontal axis, we have output on the vertical axis. Then we take this data that we have right here and we drew our total product line. The next thing that we did is we drew our marginal product line. That marginal product line is drawn in this purple. And as you can see, it's a lot further down on this table because it's showing the change. It's showing that change off of each additional amount of inputs. So our total product model, just as before, we see it increasing, and then it kind of plateaus and becomes negative. And then if we look at our marginal product, we see that it goes up, peaks, goes down, and actually becomes below zero, which is what we're finding on this last column of this table right here. And what we see that is that as it's increasing up until that point, we're facing increasing marginal returns. Because at that point, we're drawing the lines, and these numbers are continuously increasing until it hits to that point, meaning we're facing increasing marginal returns. So in this first area, we have this increasing marginal returns. And then once it peaks and begins to fall, we see that that rate of change, because marginal product is the rate of change of this product, of the total product, that this rate of change, this change is actually becoming less. While it's still growing in total product, the change is falling. So this actually becomes our decreasing marginal returns. And then over here, we actually see this marginal returns become negative. This marginal product become negative. That's that area where we have that negative marginal returns. So that can be actually seen very easily on this graph. Whenever we're looking at just the total product, we can distinguish very easily between the increasing, decreasing, and then those and the negative marginal returns. Because as it's increasing, it hits a point and then begins to fall off. Where it begins to fall off, that's our negative marginal returns where it begins. But it's kind of hard to tell on just the total product model where the increasing marginal returns and the decreasing marginal returns actually where that separation is. But as soon as we draw our marginal product curve, we can find that the peak of the marginal product curve is where that separation between increasing and decreasing marginal returns are. Then we can also see that where that marginal product actually becomes negative, that's where that negative marginal returns begins. So as we put this graph on this board, now we can actually see both the rate of change and the total product. And while the total product all in this decreasing marginal returns is increasing, the rate at which it's increasing is falling. Whereas in the increasing marginal returns, the rate at which the total product is increasing is actually increasing. And then over here, negative marginal returns is where that total product actually begins to become negative, or where that returns becomes negative and that output actually begins to decrease.